Jesse Ryder's 10 wickets in a match for the first time in his career wasn't enough to earn Essex an important LV County Championship win on the last day of their match in Canterbury against Kent, for whom Daniel Bell-Drummond was the star with a defiant 92, his best effort in this competition, which helped his side gain a draw. Kent began the last day of this match on 35 without loss, trailing by just 18 runs, and so it was important that Rob Key and Bell-Drummond kept their wickets intact so as to not open the door to their opponents. Ryder had grabbed the best figures of his career of 5 for 54 on the first day of this game, and he should have added his 6th of the match, only to be denied as Key was dropped at short mid-wicket. It took Essex half an hour to get the wicket they badly needed, and it was Ryder who claimed it by bowling Key for 37 to end an opening stand of 71. It was the start of a very good spell for the visitors, who then removed Sam Northeast, who edged a drive off Ryder to Tom Wesley. And when Ryder also won an appeal in his next over to have Brendan Nash taken behind for a duck, Essex were in charge after reducing their host to 73 for 3. Nash, who looked to play inside the line, didn't look overly impressed with the decision. It was a fascinating spell, Essex trying everything they could to put their opponents under yet more pressure. Kent had to battle hard to stay in this game, knowing that more wickets before lunch could leave them in some trouble. Ben Harmison wouldn't have welcomed the sight of Timal Mills storming in at him after he took a nasty blow on the hand in the first innings, but he played the quickie well on this occasion. This was the big moment of the day, as Bell-Drummond, on 26 at the time, was dropped in the slips off Mills. That allowed Kent to get through to lunch with just the 3 wickets down. By then, Bell-Drummond had helped himself to a couple of boundaries off Monty Panesar, which saw him take a break with 38 runs to his name out of his side score of 110 for 3, which had Kent just 57 runs ahead. Essex were still in with a shout of winning this contest. 10 more runs had been added to that in the afternoon when Harmison, on 22, edged David Masters to Ryder to open the game up once more for the visitors. They would have now known that the wicket of Darren Stevens was crucial. After getting himself in, the all-rounder took on Panesar, hitting him over long on for a 6. He strikes the ball very hard, which was a good job, as it made this return catch for Ryder a very difficult one. Slowly but surely, at the other end, Bell-Drummond was batting his side to somewhere near the safety line. He stood up to everything that was thrown at him by Essex. He reached a 50, his 4th of the championship summer, off 171 balls, and he kept on going after that, using up valuable time, while also hitting the occasional boundary, which moved Kent further ahead of their opponents. This was becoming the most important knock of the young opener's career. 24 overs passed by without a wicket, with Stevens making 47 of a vital 5th wicket partnership of 86. So the lead stood at 153 when, 20 minutes before tea, Stevens was totally foxed by Mills' clever slower ball. He lobbed a simple catch to Nick Brown. A typically fine piece of wicket-keeping from James Foster then removed Sam Billings, who was stumped on 11 early on in the last session of the match. Bell-Drummond's defiance continued, however, and he now ensured that his side would get out of this game with some points for the draw. All he needed to finish off a perfect day was to complete his maiden Championship 100. But after surviving for nearly 5.5 hours, he shuffled across his stumps to be trapped in front by Ryder, who now had 9 wickets in the match. Bell-Drummond had to drag himself off on 92, a fine effort. As was the performance from Ryder, who was not really known for his bowling before this match, yet when Mitch Claydon edged him to Wesley, the Kiwi had 10 wickets in a game for the first time. He'd never even managed a fifer before this game. Now he had 2 inside 4 days. He ended with the magnificent match figures of 10 for 110 when the captains shook hands with Kent on 255 for 8. It had been a tense last day, but in the end a draw saw Essex take 13 points to Kent's 11. Essex, who are now the top 2's nearest challengers, next travel to promotion hopefuls Hampshire on Sunday, while on the same day Kent start their next match against Glamorgan in Cardiff.